Hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. After a little halting start there, we are looking at two classics. Not exactly. Two rather obscure Kentucky blended whiskeys, in fact. Both from Heaven Hill. Well, the first is Kentucky Beau, which I bought in Meridian, Mississippi. I've not seen it around here. All right. I mean, it's not sold here. I haven't seen it. I've been to a lot of liquor outlets in southeastern Louisiana. Got the two horseshoes, some medals from nowhere. It's just fake, I guess. Kentucky whiskey, a blend. It's on the bottleneck. It says age 36 months and an 80-20 blend ratio. 80% grain neutral spirits and 20% Kentucky straight whiskey. Well, these can have coloring added and flavoring added, okay? Like Canadian blended whiskey, coloring and flavoring added, and Irish blended whiskey and Scotch blended whiskey. I think even Scotch single malt can have color added. Well, what cannot have coloring and flavoring added? Straight bourbon or just bourbon. Regular old bourbon or straight bourbon cannot have coloring or flavoring added. Blended bourbon, yes, which blended bourbon is not too common. We get 10 high around here, the blended. And then we get 10 high. I noticed with the eagle on it, 10 high, it says bourbon whiskey with natural flavors and coloring added. Well, it's got to be a blended bourbon then, because they don't allow it to have that. I'm not worried about 10 high. I had it before it was, tolerable. It was okay. It wasn't terrible. It is popular, I guess. Some people buy it. It's relatively popular. Now the competitor, J.W. Dant charcoal perfected old style blended whiskey with natural flavors and caramel color. The Dant Distillery Company, Bardstown, Kentucky. Kentucky Beau Distilling Company, Bardstown, Kentucky. Wow, they got a lot of companies in Bardstown, Kentucky, right? Bunch of distilleries, right? Wrong. There's two. Beer Hounds Beer Reviews. Howdy do, Ronald. Howdy do to you, Bill. He's way out in California. And it's 3:36 a.m. He's up late. Okay, I got up early. I got up at 1:47 a.m. because I wanted to watch all the Major League Baseball highlights, which I did. Now my nose is going to bother me. Okay, ESPN will have about a minute and a half highlight. They'll do okay, but some games they don't. They'll just have like little quick clips. So then I go to MLB and watch it on that. But they have very long, it'd be 3, 4, 5 minute. Well, I was most interested in the Cubs and White Sox, so that worked out for me because the White Sox won 2 games in a row. Okay, anyway, you said I didn't click on this here about your baseball interest. I understand. So I think this is going to be an even thing. Now my nose itches. Even. Introduced in 1956. There are old bottles I saw online that say age 10 years. Haha, no way now. 4 years. And probably a day longer. There is a black label Kentucky Beau. And I think that's the straight bourbon. There might be a bottle in bond. I don't know. But there's definitely a black label. And I think it's straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Is it any good? How would I know? I've never had it. I haven't really ever had a bad bourbon though. Usually their minimum is decent because just of the requirements. So they're pretty good. Okay. Bought this in Meridian, Mississippi. Bought this in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. Okay, what else do they have in common? Both from Heaven Hill, neither have websites, both blended, both 80 proof, bought in Mississippi, $6.49 a bottle. Bought this in Mississippi, $6.49 for the bottle. Both 750 milliliter bottles. Pretty close, huh? Yeah. So apparently Mississippi gets lots of Heaven Hill products. We get some. The Baton Rouge area gets Kentucky Gold, Heaven Hill blended, which is terrible. The worst. It must be their lowest. Like when it's really bad, they say put the Kentucky Gold label on it. We get T.W. Samuels, and mostly in St. James Parish and Hammond, Louisiana. That's more the Baton Rouge district, another Baton Rouge district. Although I did buy T.W. Samuels here. We're in the New Orleans diocese. Here, Archdiocese, I bought the T.W. Samuels at Winn-Dixie for $8.99. That's coming in tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Tuesday. We get Heaven Hill Kentucky Blended Whiskey Quality House with the old store placard sign. That's everywhere here in this parish. Everybody sells that in any kind of bottle size. Big plastic handle bottle. The small plastic handle bottles. The 375, the 750, the 1000 milliliter. That's their main line blended around here. Quality House, Heaven Hill. I don't care much for it. My friend David liked it. I say, well, go buy some. I didn't care for it too much. It was, when I first had it, it was okay. In taste challenges, it didn't really shine. You say, what's going to shine with these things? I assume Seagram 7 Crown. But I've gotten tripped up with that. That thing let me down. It let me down because I did some taste challenges, which with what some viewers would call rot gut, just junk, trash, filth, garbage. And the 7 Crown, I couldn't tell it apart. So that had me a little shook. Oh, well, let's just work through it. I got so many to do. What is it, 14 total? I mean, I've already done some, but the total, 14. Nobody made me buy it. I bought it on my own volition. But I'm trying to phase out American blended whiskey, trying to phase it out. And why? Because it's not very good, from my experience. Secondly, it would go on forever if I just kept buying it. And they're all like on par, like not good. And thirdly, in general, there really aren't any good American blended whiskeys. There's the 7 Crown, which is credible. There's TX, Rebecca Creek. I know there's some others, like in Colorado. One's from Colorado, one's from Oregon, whatever. But in general, there's no ladder to climb. Like if you get... I'm not answering that. If you get Crown Royal, you can climb the ladder. There's the basic, then a better one, and a better one, and a better one, and then there's varieties, you know, and it goes up. If you get a Canadian Club, you got the varieties, and you can climb the ladder, and it goes up. But in the American blended world, it's just like a washout, you know. In Irish whiskey, blended, you climb the ladder. Scotch, climb the ladder. But there's no ladder really to climb with these. They're all like one step ladder. You know, there's one step. It's like a step stool. You just, it's all lateral. You're going from one questionable to another questionable. So there's no excitement there. It's like, okay, I've had American blended whiskey. It's not that good. And you move on. Canadian, they tend to be similar too. Canadian whiskey blended. They're not that good generally. But the Canadian, they're better than the American. They have nicer flavors. I don't know why, they just do. All right. I don't answer the call. When somebody calls me at 5:45 a.m., I'm not answering. I know who it is, and I'm not answering it. And the person might say, well, you're awake. Yeah, but I don't. That's why I wake up early, so I'm not bothered with phone calls. You see what I'm saying? Would I ever call somebody that early? No, I wouldn't. I mean, unless it was some emergency, you know. But anyway, no, I don't bother people at that crazy hour. The nose. It's nutty. It's nutty. I always say it's like a walnut, almonds. It's very corn liquor. Corn, grits. I had grits this morning. I wanted to eat the rest of those mushrooms before they turn bad. Because they'll, you know, I got them on sale. They were so cheap anyway. But I had the grits, and then I sliced the mushroom up in it, and I put this Penzi spice, and then some hot sauce and black pepper, and it was really good. That's probably what had my nose going though, because it was so spicy. But this is just like corn, but without the barrel char, without the, you know, that kind of bourbon thing. I mean, it's bourbon-like, bourbon-esque, but not, it isn't bourbon, or it would be sold as bourbon. Okay, it might contain 20% straight bourbon. All right, so anyway, I was going to this one. I gotta take a breath. This one has a much stronger flavoring nose, meaning like blending sherry. These American blended whiskeys are allowed to have up to, I think it's 2.5% blending sherry. And I don't know what that would taste like on its own. I've never seen anybody selling blending sherry. It's probably some product that a company can buy, you know, a wholesale, you know, a distiller buys wholesale, like a whole train car full of it, you know, tanker car. It's not something you go buy at a Walmart, you know, blending sherry. But this one's got that. Whew, woo, woo. That's gamey. This thing needs to be tamed. They got that marinade called Game Tamer. This stuff needs to be tamed. Whoa. Yikes. Ouch. That's got to be the Beau. It's got to be the Kentucky Beau. This one here, it's much more mild, refrained, I'll say rescinded. You know what I'm saying? Like held back. Well, I thought they would smell the same and taste the same and just be the same with two different labels, but it isn't so. Well, we know it's not the same because one is aged at least 4 years. That's the charcoal perfected. And we know one is aged 36 months. We know one, the Kentucky Beau, is an 80-20 blend, 80% corn liquor, clear, odorless, colorless grain spirits, 20% Kentucky straight bourbon, straight whiskey, which, you know, it's bourbon, because coming from a bourbon distiller. Then this other one, we don't know the blend ratio, but I would assume it's 80-20, but you can make bad assumptions, right? and it's charcoal perfected. Well, I'm a little shocked. Thought they would smell the same, taste the same, but they don't. Just goes to show you. This is a lot cleaner nose, more pleasant nose, and refined. On aroma, I think it's the charcoal perfected. I just remember that Kentucky Beau being very woo, loud and not so proud. Okay, anyway, let's go with the taste. Cheers to you all. Nice alcohol legs on both. I'll tell you what, I don't like having hill blended whiskeys. They are not good, in my opinion. I think Sazerac is much better. Those are coming up. Well, this tastes like sweet corn. Hey, you want to get together and eat some sweet corn? Without the salt, like cane corn. I have a lot of sodium to preserve it. But this is like sweet corn. You say, what about the barrel char? Yeah, what about it? No, wrong. What about oak? Well, a shade of it. This is like everything you always wanted in a bourbon and a whole lot less. You know what I mean? It falls short. Yeah, it has the corn, and I always complain about bourbon, saying bourbon tastes like grits to me, because that's basically what it is. But this is like missing important components. And I said that about the bourbon mash, the blender's mash from Crown Royal. I did a solo review yesterday. I haven't posted it. I will in about a week or so, 2 weeks even, because I want to get through the blended here. These things, but I thought that was like lacking a lot of things, and also, but it was I'll still give it a B, but that doesn't mean much. And then I thought it was unusually high rye. It made me think of some Sazerac blended Canadians whiskeys that are high rye, or seem to be. These have a little rye in them, I guess, but they're not too high rye at all. So this one's kind of bland. Got that strange nuttiness. Medium body, kind of a ragged, hanging around finish. You want it to go away, but it's just hanging around like, how you like this taste? And I'm like, I don't like it. But it's not super offensive. It's just $6.49 a bottle, and you say, yep, that tastes like it should be $6.49 a bottle. Let's go over here. I know this thing's going to taste like cat scratch. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to be all this flavoring, this nuttiness. Here we go. Wish me the best. I need help with this one. Yeah, why? Why would you want to drink that? I'm making a joke, but it ain't no joke. It gives you the creeps. Yikes. This is on a shelf and people buy this. You say, you bought it. Yeah, I know I bought it, but I bought it as a novelty act. You know what I'm saying? I didn't buy it for real. You know what I'm saying? I didn't buy it to drink because I wanted it. I just bought it because it was a curiosity piece. Like I'm saying, a novelty act. I said, well, let me see what treacherous thing I can stumble upon at these Mississippi liquor stores. I saw the Kentucky Beau. I said $6.49. Maybe that's not the best price. So when I went, that was at that big liquor store out west of downtown in Meridian. I'm sure everybody knows about it. It's on Mississippi State Highway 19. Okay. I said, let me check out on the east side of town, Bonita Plaza. On the east side. It was on the same highway, 19, but on the southeastern side, because 19 kind of runs through the town. But it was the same price, $6.49. I said, well, I'll buy it, heck. And so the clerk says, Kentucky Beau. That's what he says. He exclaimed it when I brought the bottle up. Kentucky Beau. And he rang it up. In a way, he made a comment almost like it was a loaded exclamation. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like you could read between the lines, and he was saying the infamous Kentucky Beau. Oh yeah, they come in here and buy it. You say, who is they? You know, like people that's stumbling in, you know, like quasi sober, you know, hey, I'm coming to buy my Kentucky Beau. You know. I said, well, I'm buying something I can't get back home in Louisiana. Oh, okay. He didn't care. He's selling it. Friday night. Everything's all right. I got to say one thing about Bonita Plaza. That place, that liquor store is a bad parking lot because it's hard to park in there. It's so tight. But they do have a nice selection for being such a small store. I mean, it's a really nice selection. I would say yes. And the other one on the west side of town, I can't remember the name. Nice selection. The prices aren't bad. Aren't bad. Yeah. Well, of course, when I go back to Meridian, next time I'm passing through, you know, I'm going to stop. I know you're saying you're going to get some other questionable item, huh? You like it. You like that perversity. I like it in the sense that you're just amazed by why would somebody drink it. You know what I mean? It's like, what is all of this? I can get good. I don't have to go to Mississippi and get good stuff, you know, like really high quality liquor. I can get that right here at Walmart, half a mile away. That's no challenge. Ain't nothing. But the dregs of the liquor world, that's the ones you want to get because you can't find them everywhere, you know? They just lurk around in the dark corners of America's cities, so to speak, and towns. So that's why I bought. And then I find some beers in Meridian that I can't typically get sometimes, you know. So heck, what the heck, right? I wouldn't dare buy liquor in Alabama again. I won't make that mistake twice. What is it? 20% sales tax on top of the price? I say, oh no, we getting ripped off in Louisiana with 10% add on. If I paid $10, it cost me $11. Oh, but no, they're crazy in Alabama. So I say, that's a no liquor state for moi. I don't like the beer prices, to tell you the truth, if you want to get techno. Now, they're not terrible, but they're not exactly attractive. Well, here we go. This one they're not the same. I'll admit it. Okay, you got me. I'll say that the Charcoal Perfected, I wouldn't be running out to buy it. I wouldn't make a point of getting it. But on the other hand, I wouldn't totally reject it. I just mostly reject it. What you doing in Mississippi? Oh, just driving through. Randy Morgan, thanks for watching. You know, I don't live far from Mississippi, so hour away. I mean, I wouldn't make you know, it's just not that far. Okay, 1 hour from Mississippi and 3 hours from Texas. That's where we stand here. Oh, cool. All right, so I'm gonna say this is the Charcoal Perfected. It should say CP on it, and I'm gonna say that's the Beau, which is a lot less refined and more, you could say, stomach turning in a way. It's like the Kentucky Gold. Well, the Kentucky Gold doesn't have this wanky weirdness. Kentucky Gold just tastes like, well, yeah, I guess it's weird because it tastes like honeydew melon. Like, really? Okay. I just better say CP, Charcoal Perfected. Oh, whoa, it says it's the other whiskey, which would be the Beau. So it's the Kentucky Beau that has the nicer flavor. Well, I'm starting to go on a streak here, a losing streak. Don't blame me. Blame this stuff. I got to blame somebody, right? Boy, so it's the Dant Charcoal Perfected that has this nearly unbearable taste. Well, ouch. Hey, but you know, tomorrow, I mean, Tuesday might be totally different. These things will taste different one against the other. T.W. Samuels, okay. If I was looking to buy a Heaven Hill blended wheat, and I would definitely not be looking to do that. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, I went mad. I went crazy. Well, in that madness, I would tell the voices that I was hearing that I'm going to buy the T.W. Samuels, because that one has the most bourbon taste. It's closer to bourbon than any of the other wretched. I'm not saying it's good. No, please don't take this the wrong way. I say it's the least offensive. You could perhaps fool somebody into thinking it was bourbon if they didn't have much experience with it. You know what I'm saying? A real seasoned bourbon drinker, somebody with a real taste for bourbon, no, you'd never trick them. But maybe somebody that's only just dabbles in it, you might trick them. So that's coming up next. T.W. Samuels. Can't believe that bottle is still around. But that's how slow I drink these. I don't want to drink them at all, so I just like barely take any in. Then I think the excitement level is going to go up a little bit, because I think the Sazerac blendeds are going to smash the Charcoal Perfected. This I do not know, but I get the feeling that the Sazerac is going to run away with the show. Do I think Sazerac's a better company overall? This I cannot say. I'm only talking about blended bourbon, you see. So, all right, that was moderately interesting. Thanks for watching this failure. Tuesday, we're going to go with T.W. Samuels, a real brand. It has really been on the market since 1844. True story. I checked the trademark, registered with the U.S. Trademark Office. It was first used in 1844. Now, I didn't say they were making good whiskey for 176 years. I just said they were making it. All right, thanks for watching this video production. Now, that's rot gut liquor. Haha. Yeah, you're right about that.